everything I know now, everything. That's how simple it is to make records. Nowadays, buddy, the technician is in control of the medium. They try to make out like it's black magic or flying a spaceship. I can teach anybody on this planet how to fly a spaceship. If you look at the console, there'll be 30 knobs. High frequency, low frequency, mid frequency, all notched up in this tiny, tiny, teeny degrees. It's all bullshit. All this stuff don't matter. If you can't be intimidated, you just ignore it, all of it. I walk into studios with the biggest console known to mankind, and I ask for a schematic and say, can you patch from here to here and eliminate the entire board? I just run it right into the tape machines. All the modern consoles, they're all made by hacks. They're not worth the time to shovel your own shit in the horseshoe. You sound terrible. None of it touches the old tube stuff, like the green board from Heiders. There's two tone controls, high end, low end, and a pan knob, and that's it. I had great good fortune when I was a kid and started making records. I made them at Wally Hyder's Gold Star. So all the people that taught me were Frank DiMatteo, Dave Gold, Stan Ross, Dean Jensen. These were the geniuses of the music business, and they still are. They taught me more about sound and how sound is made and the principles of doing it, and it's unshakably correct what they said to me. You get a great sound at the source. You put the correct mic in front of the source. Get it to the tape the shortest route possible. And that's how you get a great sound. That's how you do it. All other ways will work. The biggest moment of my life, the one I haven't been able to get past ever really, is 1961 when I first got to LA. I got invited to Radio Recorders to see Ray Charles, and I walked into the studio and Ray's playing all the piano parts with his left hand, reading the braille score with his right, singing the vocals live while a full orchestra played behind him. So I sat there and I watched, and I went, this is how records are made. Put everybody in the fucking room and off we go. In those days everybody knew how to get in, get their dicks hard at the same time and deliver. 3 hours later, they walked out of the fucking door with a record in their pocket, man. Because in those days, they didn't have 8, 16, 24, 48, 64 track recording and ad nauseum to fuck people up. And that's what fucked up the recording business and the musicians today, by the way. Fucked them all up to where they'll never be the same, in my opinion. People realized they could do their part later, play their part and fix it later. And with rock and roll, the more you think, the more you stink. It's very easy for people to forget what rock and roll really is. Look man, I'm 47 years old and I grew up in Wyoming, and I stole cars and I drove 500 miles to watch Little Richard. And I want to tell you something, when I saw this nigga come out in a gold suit, fucking hair flying, and leap up on stage, come down on his piano banging and going nuts in Salt Lake City, I went, hey man, I want to be like him. This is what I want, except it ain't. Even today, there's a scary dude. He's the real thing. Rock and roll is not safe. Not safe. Has nothing to do with money or anything. It's like wind, fire, rain. It's elemental. 14-year-old kids, they don't think, they feel. Rock and roll is fire, man. Fire. It's the attitude. It's thumbing your nose at the world. It's a load. It's such a load that it burns people out after a few years. Even the best of them burn out. People get old, they forget what it's like to be a kid. They're responsible, they're this, they're that. You can't have it both ways. You're a rock and roller, or you're not. I want to tell you something. This guy's never been insecure about anything in his fucking life. First among equals. It's always been that way. When he's got his axe in his hand, it's like the Hulk, man. His aura becomes solid, except it don't. Becomes 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide. The only other guy, the John Lennon, who can actually go from folk to country to full orchestra. The only guy. I think when it's all written down, he will unquestionably stand in the top 5 that ever made rock and roll. With Chuck Berry, Mick Jagger, and Keith Richards, and with Aerosmith, and Jim Morrison and Hendrix and the Who. Was that and Led Zeppelin? Oh sure, and Led Zeppelin. And we gotta mention Janis. There you got another JD and Co for you there. With two eyes. Everything you want to know now. Everything. As I simply listen to records. Nowadays, the technician is in control of the music. Trying to make out like it's black magic or flying spaceship. Look at the modern console, every 30 knobs, high frequency, low frequency, mid frequency. All my stuff is tiny, teeny, tiny degrees. It's all bullshit. All this stuff don't matter, and you can't be intimidated. You just ignore it. Ignore all of it. I walk in the studios with the biggest console known to mankind. I ask for schematic and I say, can you patch from here, right here to here, and eliminate the entire board. I just run it right into the tape machines. All modern consoles, they're all made by hacks. They're not worth a shine, sharp, with their own shit, They sound terrible. None of it touches the old tube stuff like the green ball from heiders. It has two-tone controls, high end, low end, and camera. That's it. I had great good fortune when I was a kid and started making records. I made them at Wally Heiders, Gold Star it was. So all the people that taught me were Frank DiMatteo, Dave Gold, Stan Wiles, Dean Jensen. Those were the geniuses of the music business, they still are. It taught me more about sound and how a sound is made and the principles of doing it, and it's unshakably correct. It said to me, get a great sound at the sauce. You put the correct mark in front of the sauce, you get to the tape the shortest route possible, and that's how you get a great sound. That's how you do it. All other ways of work. The biggest moment in my life. It's gonna sound sad because it ain't nothing personal. It one I haven't been able to get past ever really is 1961. When I first got to LA. I got invited to radio recordings to see Ray Charles. I walk into the studio and Ray's playing all the piano parts with his left hand and reading the Braille score with his right and singing the vocals live on a full orchestra play guy. I sat there and I watched and I went, this is how records are made. Put everybody in the fucking room and off we go. In those days everybody knew they had to get in and get their dicks hard at the same time, whatever. 3 hours later, they walked out of the fucking room with a record in their pocket. Because in those days, they didn't have 8, 16, 24, 48, 64 track recording ad nauseum. It just fucks people up. And that's what fucked up the recording business and the musicians of today, by the way. Fucked them all up to where they'll never be the same, in my opinion. People realize they could do their part later. Play their part and fix it later. And rock and roll, the more you think, the more you stink. I'm 47 years old and I grew up in Warren. And I stole cars and I drove 500 miles to watch Little Richard. And I want to tell you something. When I saw this nigga come out in a gold suit, fucking hair flying and leap up on stage, coming on down on his piano, banging and going fucking nuts, I went, hey man, I want to be like him. This is what I want. Even today he's a scary dude. He's the real thing. Rock and roll is not sedate, not safe, not truly nothing to do with money or anything. It's not wind, fire, rain. It's elemental. Kids, they don't think, they feel. Rock and roll is fire, man. Fire. It's the attitude, it's thumbing your nose at the world. It's a load. It's such a load that it burns people out after a few years. Even the best of them burn out. People get old, they forget what it's like to be a kid. They're irresponsible. They're this, they're that. You can't have it both ways. You're a rock and roller or you're not. I want to tell you something. I've never been insecure about anything in my fucking life. First among you, that's what I am. It's always been that way. When I got my guitar in my hand, it's like the Hulk, man. My aura becomes solid. I become 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide. I own the guy. I'm the owner of the guy. And John Lennon. You can actually go from folk to country to full orchestra. Only guy. I think when it's all written down, I will unquestionably stand in the top 5 that ever made rock and roll. Chuck Berry and Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and Aerosmith and Jim Morrison and Hendrix and the Beatles. That's that, and Led Zeppelin. Oh sure, yeah, and Led Zeppelin. down the river on a red raft of blood that blocks out the heaven like a big black shiny bug. It's hard, soft shell shining white in one spot. Well, it's hard place that I'm living, but I'm doing well. White horse is melted like a spotted silver whale. Its mane went last, then disappeared the tail. The life right through my veins, whistling no hollow well. Frozen solid emotion, well. I heard the ocean swarming body, well. I heard the beetle clicking, sensed the thickest siren scream. I began to dream. My mind cracked like custard, ran red till it's sealed. Turned to wooden road like a wheel, well. Thick like bells, flying well. Caps of solid chrome, feathers of solid chrome, and beats of solid bone, and beats the iron around them well. White coal, well. Till it showed in pain. The whole world came quick like ever after its shadow vanished, shining silence, well. Life flows down the river on a red raft of blood. That blocks out the heaven like a big black shiny bug. Its hard soft shell shining white in one spot, well. It's a hard place that I'm living, but I'm doing well. Time is pressing. Oh yeah, time is pressing. Strange that it's never pressed before. Not once in my 28 years of living. Not once that I recall. Years, that's over 10,000 laps of the clock's face. Jesus, man, I think I've sat on my dumb ass and listened to the idiot face clock with those going over shit all the time. Now, at the hour of my dying, when I could use a little bit of what I get. minor object. Move on, chuckle there. Let's get fucking pressing. See you inching under, sir, slowly inching under. What it is you're inching in, I cannot help but wonder. Booming voice up in the clouds, if it cuts like a knife. Death I'm slowly inching in while inching out of life. Pocket yawn and pull me down, my body trussed in chains. Sit inside and shook his head, paid up amongst the flames. Stand up there and empty for all that is worth. Heaven's just a lie in mine to make it hell on earth. Try a little bit of Shakespeare on you. It ain't Shakespeare, actually, it's Marlowe. How am I glutted with the conceit of this? Should I make the spirits fetch me what I please? Resolve me of all ambiguities. For my desperate enterprise I will. I'll fly to India for gold, ransack the ocean for orient pearl, search all corners of the newfound world for pleasant fruits and princely delicates. Stranger engines for the brunt of war. Was the fiery keel at Antwerp's bridge. I'll have my servile spirits to invent. Valdez and Cornelius make me blessed with the sage conference. Know that your words have won me to last to practice magic and conceal the arts, but not your own words only, but mine own fancy that leaves no object for my head, but ruminates on necromantic skill. Philosophy is odious and obscure, both law and physic are from petty wits. Divinity is the basest of all three, unpleasant, harsh, contemptible, and vile. It is magic, magic that hath ravished me. Gentle friends aid me in this attempt, and I that have with concise syllogisms around the apostles of the German Church, and made the flowering pride of Pittsburgh swarm to my problems as the infernal spirits on sweet Zoeus when he came to hell. Be as cunning as Agrippa was, whose shadow made all Europe on him. now. Everything. That's how simple it is to make records. Nowadays, buddy, the technician is in control of the medium. They're trying to make out like it's black magic or flying a spaceship. I can teach anybody on the planet how to fly a spaceship. If you look at the modern console, there'll be 30 knobs, high frequency, low frequency, mid frequency, all notched in this teeny tiny degrees. It's all bullshit. All this stuff doesn't matter. If you can't be intimidated, you just ignore it, all of it. I walked in the studio with the biggest console known to mankind and I asked for a schematic and I said, can you patch from here to here and eliminate the entire board? I just run it right into the tape machines. All the modern consoles, they're all made by hand. It's like they're not worth the time to shovel their own shit. It sounds terrible. None of it touches the old tube stuff like the green board from heiders. It has two tone controls, high end, low end, and a pan knob, and that's it. I had great good fortune when I was a kid and started making records. I made them at one heiders Gold Star, so all the people who taught me were Frank Mario, Dave Gold, Stan Ross, Steve Jensen. These guys were the geniuses of the music business and they still are. Taught me more about sound and how sound is made and the principles of doing it, and it's all unshakably correct what they said to me. You get a great sound at the source, you put the correct mic in front of the source, you get it to take the shortest route possible, and that's how you get a great sound. That's how you do it. What other ways of work? The biggest moment in my life, the one I haven't been able to get past ever really, is 1961. You know this one. You know that one? Got your mother in a whirl. It's not sure if you're a boy or a girl. Hey babe, your hair's alright. Hey babe, let's go out tonight. Love dancing and we look divine. Alright, hey got invited to radio recorders to see Ray Charles. And I walk in the studio and Ray's playing all the piano parts with his left hand and reading a braille score with his right hand and singing the vocals live and full orchestras playing behind him. So I sat there and I watched them and this is how records are made. Put everybody in the fucking room and off we go. In those days everybody knew they had to get in, get their dicks hard at the same time and deliver. And 3 hours later they walked out of the fucking room with a record in their pocket, man. Because in those days they didn't have 8, 16, 24, 48, 64 track recording ad nauseum to fuck people up. And that's what fucked up the recording business and the musicians of today, by the way. Fucked them all up to where they'll never be the same, in my opinion. People realized they could do their part later, play their part and fix it later. And with rock and roll, the more you think, the more you stink. It's very easy for people to forget what rock and roll really is. Look, man, I'm 47 years old and I grew up in Wyoming and I stole cars and I drove 500 miles to watch Little Richard. And I want to tell you something. When I saw this nigger come out in the gold suit, fucking hair flying, I said, nigger, not nigger. Fucking hair flying and leap up on stage and come down on his piano banging and going fucking nuts. I went, hey man, I want to be this. I want to be like that. Even today he's a scary dude. He's the real thing. Rock and roll is not sedate, not safe. It has nothing truly to do with money or anything. It's like wind, fire, rain, it's every man. The kids, they don't think, they feel. Rock and roll is fire, man. Fire and attitude. It's thumbing your nose at the world. It's low. It's just so low that it burns people out after a few years. Even the best of them get burned out. People get old. They forget what it's like to be a kid. They're responsible. They're this, they're that. You can't have it both ways. You're a rock and roller, or you're not. I want to tell you something. I've never been insecure about anything in my fucking life. First among equals, that's me. It's always been like that. When I got this guitar in my hand, it's like the Hulk, man. My aura becomes solid. I become 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide. I'm the other guy in John Lennon who can actually go from funk to punch to full orchestra. The only guy. When it's all written down, I will unquestionably stand in the top 5 that ever made rock and roll. Chuck Berry and Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Aerosmith, and Jim Morrison, and Hendrix, and The Who, and Led Zeppelin. Yeah, sure, Led Zeppelin. We gotta mention Janice.